Hi friends, last exam revision series topic 1 we discussed about spending, saving and borrowing. Today next topic I would like to explain is that labor market. Most of the year question paper if you analyzing means you can see that they used to ask a lot of questions from this particular topic. So today I am expecting that there are some questions which is frequently asked. So I am expecting that these questions will be repeated again or in a different way they may ask these questions again. So here are some predicted questions from the topic labor market. Let's see. In order to easy understanding the topic labor market, I used to divide into three topics. First one, choice of occupation. Second one, why earnings are different. And third one is trade union. So labor market, once you are considering that first question they may used to ask about the choice of occupation, why a particular labor is selecting this job. Under the choice of occupation, we have so many factors will influence a person's choice of occupations. First factor is the wage factors. Second, all are called non-wage factors like job satisfaction, working hours, lack of qualifications, lack of skills, promotion chances, fringe benefits, and lack of information. Then next is why earnings are different. So different group of people will earn different amount of wages and salaries. Why there is a differences in earnings. In this one, basically we are saying that about what are the factors affecting earnings. First one is demand for labor, supply of labor, more experience, productivity, skill, and better education and strong bargaining power. So like these kind of factors mainly influence the changes in the earnings. I used to explain these points in very detail in the coming slides, so that's what I'm not explaining very detail in here. So another topic is that trade union. So trade union also they used to ask what are the advantages and disadvantages of trade union, what are the functions of trade union. So in here, trade union is to protect the interest of their members, collective bargaining to improve the pay, job security, working condition, health and safety needs, then dismissal and redundancy, protecting the rights of members, acting on behalf of the members in the discussions with the government. So these are the important areas we are going to cover in this videos. So now we are going to be for the predicted questions for this topic. So first topic for the predicted questions we are discussing is that choice of occupations. Actually, why different professions people are selecting based on which are the aspect they will consider before selecting a profession. So that is what we are mean by what do you mean by choice of occupation. So there are wage factors and non-wage factors that will determine a person's choice of occupations. From this portion, what are the predicted questions we can see? So from the choice of occupation, I am selecting three questions here. First question, explain two reasons why someone may be willing to do a low paid job with a little job security. Actually, the wages is low, but job security also low, even though a person is selected that particular job. Why a person choosing that particular job? That's the question. Next question, explain two non-wage factors that influence an individual choice of occupation. So here next question they asked is that explain two non-wage factors. Previously, why a person choose a job with low wages and low job security. Next question, explain two non-wage factors that influence individual choice of occupation. Third question, after studying for your economics qualification, you have to decide whether to leave the school and find a job or enroll in a college for more specialized training. What factors might you consider when you are making your decisions? So why I selected these three questions is that from the choice of occupation, most of the time they are asking the same way question. For example, why someone is ready to accept a low paid job even though it's a job security with a little job security. Then we are saying what are the non-wage factors influencing a person's choice of occupation. Then they are asking like this one, whether to join a job or to continue study. So what factors you will be considered to making your decision? When you are making a decision, what are the factors you will be considered? So first question is that job satisfaction. Of course, actually even the low paid, low job security, if you are willing to do a job which will give you high satisfaction for you, for example, the professions like teaching, nursing, these all are not based on the payment, or will be say that it's merely based on the pay what they are getting. It is not based on their job security or a promotional prospects. It is all about job satisfaction. Second factor, for example, whether you want to continue to a college or you want to be go for a job means it is all about what satisfaction you are getting from the job based on that. Second factor is working hours. Above the non-wage factors, will be say that among the non-wage factors, most important non-wage factor is what? Working hours. Someone willing to accept a low-paid job if the working hours are very less. Then we'll be say that in second question they are asking any two non-wage factors that influence individual job choice of occupation. In that case also you can say that working hours is another one factor. Then whether I had to go for a higher studies or I had to go for a job means I will consider what is my working hours. In school means how many hours I have to spend. In work means how many hours I have to spend. So that also will be considered. Third one is that lack of qualification. For example, why a person is willing to do a job, even though low pay, that is only because of that particular person is having a low qualification. That may be the reason. And then I explained two non-wage factors that influence individual choice of occupation. Actually, individual's choice of occupation is based on their qualifications. If they are well qualified, they will select those kind of jobs. If they are not educated that much or their skill level is comparatively low, means they will select a low paid profession. So that's what they are saying. Then uh, lack of skills, that is actually qualification, education, training and skill, that will come under same, but we are making it. So qualification means how much degree you have, skill means the productivity or the efficiency of the employees, so particular talent is there. Then promotional chances, for example, why a person select a job, low paid job, because of promotional prospects. Then why a, no, a non-wage factor, promotional factors is a non-wage factor, a non-wage factor which is determining individual choice of occupation. Then the fringe benefit, that is the most important, like commission, bonus, overtime, so company car, free Wi-Fi, free cell phone. So like that kind of stuff. Fringe benefits are the most important factor a person will consider when they are selecting a job. For example, as student, he used to prefer for a job. Why? Because of more fringe benefits are available in that world. For example, he used to be get a free company car, less working hours. For example, he'll be at a free Wi-Fi, or his cell phone will be paid by themselves. Then paid holidays. So we'll be saying that holiday trips, more travel opportunities, bonuses, commissions. So those kind of stuff. Then third reason is that lack of information. Why a person is selected in a low paid job? Because he don't know where else the better paid jobs are available. That's why. So why a student is used to be selected instead of going for a college, he is selecting a job means because of he doesn't have the what is the benefit of having a better education. So these are the important questions. Listen, these kind of similar question. What are the non-wage factors and wage factors will influence a particular choice of occupation? So non-wage factors only is clearly specialized. In the last question, for example, a student is selecting, in that case, you have to be right about what? Wage factors. So in this type of question, what you have to be right in the knowledge application analysis point means you have to be right about knowledge as a wage. You can define what do you mean by wage rate and what do you mean by non-wage factor and what do you mean by wage factor. Then you have to be say the relationship between this one, whether they are positively related or negatively related. Then you have to select each point. Question is to explain, isn't it? So writing a list like answer like this what I'm showing here, you will not get any marks. So you have to be explain each point. When you select, you have to be explain how it will work with an exemplification. That's what we needed from this one. So I hope you guys will understand. So next topic is why earnings are different. From this portion, some professions used to be get a high wages. Some professions used to pay very low wages. Why wages are different in different profession? Most of the examination, these type of questions are also be repeated. So I am expecting that this exam also you will be get a question from this topic that why earnings are different. Why different persons used to earn different wages or a different salary. What is the reason behind that? So here, three questions I am planning to discuss. First question is that discuss whether or not old workers are paid more than young workers. Second question, discuss whether or not Skilled workers are always paid more than unskilled workers. Third question, explain why university graduates usually earn more than people who have not gone to university. So in these three questions, actually every exam, these type of questions are repeated. So you see, these are the same question, old wine in a new bottle. That means the question is same, but the way they are asking is different. For example, you see every question two group is there. First one old one and young one. Second one skilled one and unskilled one. Third one graduate and non-graduates. So who used to paid more and why? So question is that why wages are different? That is a question. But they are asking in a different way. So when you are writing, when I am here explaining, I will explain the point. But when you are writing the answer, you have to be right according to these two groups. For example, first point I am saying that higher demand. So old workers or young workers will have a high demand. Based on that, you can able to continue the answer. For example, we can say that old workers are having a high demand. That's why they used to pay more wages. Or skilled workers are having a high demand. That's why they are paying high wages. Or graduates are having a high demand. That's why they are paid higher. Then next point is that lower supply. For example, we will be say that older workers are paid more because they are less in supply. Skilled workers are paid more because they are less in supply. Or university graduates are less in supply, that's why they are paid more. Third point, more experience. Who have the more experience? For example, old workers having a more experience, so they used to pay more. Or otherwise, we'll be say that skilled workers having more experience, that's why they are paid more. Or we'll be say that university graduates have more experience than a non-university graduate, that's why they are paid more. Or otherwise we'll be say that productivity, who have the highest productivity, young workers having a highest productivity, so that they used to pay more. Or we will be say that skilled workers having a highest productivity, so that's why they are paid more. Or we will be say that university graduate have a highest productivity, that's why they used to pay more. Like that you can write. Opposite side also you can write. In knowledge application you are saying one side, means evaluation you have to say the other side. For example, strong bargaining power. Who have the strong bargaining power? For example, old workers having a strong bargaining power with the employer, then they used to pay higher. Or will we say that skilled workers are organized, they are the member of trade union, so that they can able to bargain higher, so that they used to be get a high wages. Or a graduates having a more productivity, so that they have more bargaining power, so that they used to pay higher. Like that you can explain. The way you are explaining it is according to your preferences, what which group you are selecting first, other group you have to be right as an evaluation. For example, physical strength. So who will have a more physical strength? Of course, young workers will have a more physical strength. Or will be say that skilled workers having a physical strength, or unskilled workers having a physical strength more, so that they used to pay more. Like that also you can write. It is up to your preferences. Then will be say fitter and flexible. Will be say that who is fitter? That means that who is very flexible according to the producer's needs. The employees are changing their things. For example, do you think that old workers are more flexible? I don't think so. So we can able to write that young workers are paid more because they are more flexible and they used to fit according to their needs. And occupationally mobile. Who is occupationally mobile? Those who are more educated, more skilled, and more talented are occupationally mobile. And geographically mobile. Geographically mobile means we are saying that a person can have to move from one area to another area. So who will be more geographically mobile? Most of the time, skilled workers are geographically mobile. Or we will be say that young workers are geographically mobile, or university graduates are geographically mobile. So like that you can write. Then more up to date with the technology. Which group will be up to date with the technology? Young workers are updated with the technology, or skilled workers are up to date with the technology. Or will we say that university graduates are up to date with the technology? That's why they used to pay higher. Staying with the same employer, that is another one factor. Normally we will not write this point because it is very okay. I didn't see that students used to write this point, but I am recommending that you have to write this point even. Staying with the same employer, that is a kind of another type of experience actually. For example, you are working in a company for more years, means surely you will used to pay higher than anyone else because you have more experience, more skilled. That in the companies you are just like a family member, like that feeling will be there. The other side you can able to use it what? Evaluation. So these three questions You can able to select. First, you will be say that old workers are paid more. In evaluation, you have to say no, young workers will be paid. So you this point even you can able to separate it into the knowledge application analysis and evaluation event. It doesn't mean that you have to be write all the point. If you are writing about 5 points for the knowledge application analysis and around 3 point or a 4 point for the evaluation, means that is more than enough. It is all about how you are explaining with the exemplification, with the particular example, how you are explaining this question. It is all about that. Nothing about the number of points. It is all about how you are explaining. For example, knowledge. You have to define what do you mean by wage rate and how wage rate is determined. And here you can able to use a wage rate determination diagram, demand for labor, supply of day labor, and how the wage rate is determined. Those diagram you can able to use it. Then if you want to be used at the productivity, skill, and all those things, means you can use that formula even there. Then we had to say about the trade union power and all those things. So it is a very simple question. And conclusion, it is not having any separate mark for these 8 mark questions. But if you want to be write a general conclusion statement, means you can write. It is actually it is up to you. If you don't have a time, means you don't need to write it. I will not say that you have to write a conclusion. It is up to you. Okay. If you write a conclusion, means that is better. That's it. But it doesn't have any additional marks. So next question we can see that why earnings are different. Here I just prepared some other questions. Actually, it is my own question. I will say that they used to ask sometimes possibilities there from the internet and all those things. When I was researching, I find out some question is that this type of question also you have to expect. All the time they will ask that why teachers are paid more than fishermen, or why doctors are paid more than this profession, like that. So this time you have to be expect a question like that. Why are wages low in hand car wash market? So car washing, that is by hand, man-made, or a man is washing the car. Why that those who are that person who is washing the car will have a low wages? Or why our wages are low in primary sector? Primary sector means we will be say that fish farmers. So this question I told you, just like a previous question, it is a 6 mark question, analyze question. Why some group of people are having a low wages? That's the question. Every time they will ask about the high wages now. So if the question is about high wages, means opposite of this point you have to be right. So here I am explaining that why wages are low in one profession. For example, the demand for that particular labor is very low. We know that demand labor is shifting down, means of course the wage rate will shift down. And supply of labor is too high. If supply of labor is shifted right, means automatically what will happen? Wage rate will be low. So whenever the wage rate is the question, why wage rate is different means demand for labor and supply of labor. That is the first point you have to be right. Then we know that labor demand is a derived demand. That means that demand for the labor is derived from the product what he or she is produced. So if this product demand is higher, means they used to pay higher. This product demand is low, means these workers used to be paid low. Then high competition in the market may lead to fall in the wage rate. We know that in a perfectly competitive market, products are similar, market condition all we knows that. In that situation, the producer will always try to reduce the cost as much as possible. Then only they can able to gain maximum profit, because price is fixed by the market. The producer can't able to change the prices. So in this situation, producer will try to reduce the wages as much as possible. So that's why, because of high competition, the producer will force the wages to down. Then monopoly power of the employer. We know that there is only one buyer in the labor market. For example, you take teachers in Maldives. There is only one buyer in Maldives. Only government schools are there, means only government is the buyer. For example, Ministry of Education is the monopoly buyer of teachers. Understood? For example, in that country, only one buyer is there for that particular labor. So that's why they have a bargaining power, or they have a strong monopoly power. So that's why they are charging a low wages. Then we know that our country has so many undocumented workers. Official workers means what? Formal, they have a labor contract, they have a passport, valid visa, and everything. So that they, according to the government rules, they have to pay. In your country, when you know that some undocumented workers will be there, we will be say that people from Bangladesh and Philippines, those country people are working as undocumented workers. For example, officially they are not as a labor, but also they are working. So in these cases, they can't able to formally go and complain to any court or a police that they are paying very wages and they are exploiting like that they can do because they are undocumented, they are illegal workers. Then lack of trade union representatives. Why some wages, some workers are paid low means that because they don't have a trade union. If trade union is there means they used to argue, bargain for a high wages, but now there is no trade union. That's why they are paying low wages. The lack of proper employment laws in the country. For example, like a minimum wages and the government laws will be there regarding minimum wages for this particular profession. If there is no minimum wages means sometimes the labor exploitation will be very higher. So that is called modern slavery. It's actually it is a kind of modern slavery. Previously, colonialism will use to exploit the laborers, but now modern multinational companies and these kind of undocumented workers and because of low wages, it is a kind of a slavery by the haves and have-nots. So it is actually a little bit theoretical point. So I will not recommend that you have to be right that, but you have to understand what you mean by modern slavery. So workers are eligible for a higher wages, but even though you are not paying that higher wages means you are just a slavery. It is a kind of slavery that is called modern slavery. Okay, so that is also one of the reason why wages are low in some car wash market and some primary sector or some unskilled laborers. I hope you understood. So from third topic from here, and we are discussing is about trade union. Trade union normally they asked about your 4 mark questions and sometimes 6 mark question even. So what are the functions of trade union? What are the advantages and disadvantages of trade union? So trade union means we know that it's an organized labor, isn't it? Organized labor. So they are organized and they are fighting for their rights. So here also two questions I am discussing. Describe the functions of trade union and explain the benefits that an individual may get from being a member of a trade union. So we'll be say that what are the functions and what are the advantages of trade union. For example, same like first one, it is protect the interest of their members. That we know that what employers need that they will employees need that they will give. Then collective bargaining to improve the pay, job security, provide a better working condition, health and safety needs of the employees will be protected. Then dismissal and redundancy, if any unfair or unethical dismissal means they will ask. Then about protecting the rights of members and acting on behalf of the members in the discussions with the government. So this last function normally you guys will not write it. So it is also important function. You have to write this one, okay? Acting on behalf of members in discussions with the government. On behalf of the member, anything we have to be discussed with the government means trade union members, that representative of the trade union will just discuss with the government and find appropriate solution for this one. So this is, I think, nothing to explain. It is just you can have to you have to describe means you have to just explain each function what you mean by that. Don't write like these kind of point forms. Okay. The another way they ask the topic from the trade union is that analyze trade union is always harmful effect on the wider economy, or describe what are the disadvantages of trade union. So what are the disadvantages of trade union? First we will discuss. So there might be a industrial actions like strikes. So it will be disturb the production. So powerful union and industrial actions could lead to disruption in the economy. Firm going out of the business. For example, sometimes some industries will be closed down because of the industrial action and increasing unemployment. If that industry is closed down means it will be create unemployment in the economy. Powerful trade union could be leads to higher wages. Yeah, that is a benefit of trade union, isn't it? So powerful trade union maybe leads to higher wages, but wages are higher means what will happen to the cost of production? Cost of production will increase, so that supply will shift left and economic growth will fall, making products uncompetitive in the world market. For example, if the cost of production is higher, means what producer will do? They will charge a higher price. So it will be reduce your international competitiveness. Then cost of annual fee and subscription. So if you want to be a member of trade union, means every month you have to pay some fees to the trade union. That also be considered as a disadvantages of trade union. Sometimes the subscription charges are very higher, means everyone can't able to be a member of a trade union. Then workers doesn't agree with the views and actions of trade union. Sometimes some worker doesn't want to be a part of trade union because the actions or the policy or the opinion of the trade union may not be right. So some laborers will not agree with that. So union doesn't exist in a particular line of work. Every profession trade union is not available. That is also one of the disadvantages of trade union. Then person is self-employed means he can't not be a part of the trade union. Then employees are satisfied with their pay and working conditions, then they no need to have a trade union, isn't it? They are illegal in some countries, and some countries, because of these advantages, they made it is a illegal. So you have to be expect these type of questions from the labor market. So I hope you guys are understood from what are the questions they will ask. So remember that when you're studying about the labor market, you have to be concentrate on the three topics: choice of occupation, why earnings are different, trade union. In choice of occupation, wage factors and non-wage factors you have to write. Why earnings are different means you have to be always think from the point of view that why some are getting more, like skilled laborers, unskilled laborers, old workers and young workers, university graduates and non-university graduates, like that. Then functions of trade union, advantages and disadvantages of trade union. So these are the questions you have to be prepared for this exam. So all the best. Thank you very much.